morning, y'all. I've got some round steaks for lunch. I bought some little packages. This one was $4.51. And anyway, so we've got us some little round steaks. And I'm going to fry them, country fry them. And Hannah, that's what she wants today. And so round steaks are tough. Now, I hate to say it, but they are. So you really need to chop these really good before you commence to fry them, okay? So here's how I do it. I'm going to open my steaks up. I'm going to put them on my chopping block, and I'm going to give them a good whack. Remember, there was some videos not too long ago that we did that we said, how did your parents and grandparents tenderize their meat? And you know, one of them was a bottle, or like a drink bottle that you go up and down on. One of them was a saucer that you use the side of the saucer, and one was a knife. I use a knife most of the time on mine. All right, so we're gonna have 6 people here today. I mean 5, I'm sorry, 5 people here today. So we're going to have everybody one steak with a few left over. They may not be left over. Somebody will probably wind up eating them. All right. And I'm just going to push them together kind of tight like this so I can... Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and cut them in 2. I wanted to cut all my steaks in 2. We're going to fry them like that. They'll fry, you fit in your pan a whole lot better if you do it that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, then I'm gonna tenderize them. I'm gonna, before I cook them, I'm going to salt them and pepper them and put some buttermilk over them, let them sit for about an hour before I start actually cooking them. Today's Sunday. You won't be seeing this on Sunday. You'll be seeing it some other day of the week, but that's all right too, isn't it? That is all right too. All right, we got our steaks cut up in little, nice little pieces here. And that'd be a good thing. Now, all I'm going to do now, I'm going to push them kind of close together so my knife hits everybody at the same whack. And I'm just going to start. It's not going all the way through the meat, y'all. It's just tenderizing. It's just it's breaking up those muscles, breaking up those little gristles and things like that that's actually in the meat, okay? Once you go this way, or you can do it with a bottle or the side of a saucer, then you can come over to and do another way. And then you can crisscross them. And then we're going to turn them over and do them some more. Now I'm going to go crisscross it. I'll be over this way now. I'll be turned on this side. And they'll be so good and tender. The buttermilk's going to help, and everything. That piece right there, I can tell it's kind of tough. I can feel it. I don't know if you can hear the difference. All right, now we're going to flip them over, everybody, and we're going to do the other side exactly like we did this side, okay? Today's Hannah's birthday, and I texted her the other day, and I said, tell me what you want for your special dinner. She said, I want country fried steak, creamed potatoes, and asparagus. I said, you shall have it, my sweetheart. So, hold on, let me get this tenderized. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fry them in vegetable oil, and then I'm going to take them up. But a way you could get them even more tender is this. Fry them in vegetable oil, you know, with your, you put flour on the meat and all that, and fry them up, set them to the side. Take that grease that you have in the pan and make you some gravy out of it. And then put your steak back in the gravy and let it simmer for a long time. Now that's gonna make it super tender, but she doesn't want it that way. So I'm not doing it that way. You know, when you have a birthday, you gotta do it like the birthday girl says, right? Right. I already diced up my potatoes. They are in the water, fixing to boil until they get tender, and then we're gonna have creamed potatoes with that. That's gonna be so good. She love it. Okay, let's add our salt and pepper to them. I only salt one side, but maybe I need to do two because salt helps tenderize them also. Just put a little bit on this side, then we put a little bit on the other. A little pepper. I don't put any garlic or any other kind of seasoning on my steak like this when I cook it. All I want to do is taste the actual meat. Okay, I'm going to roll it over and do the other side too. Okay, now then I'm going to take my buttermilk and I'm just going to put just a little bit, if I can get it to come out, a little bit on some of the pieces. This is going to help hold on your flour and all that we're going to put on it, you know, for our batter. And it's also going to tenderize this meat while I let it sit there an hour or two. Okay. That's it. Spread it all around on each piece. Turn it over. Let some get on the other side of the thing. Then we're going to clean our surface up right here. All right, well, this one's ready to go in the bowl. This one's ready. Yes, you could have done this on a platter. And you could have done it all kind of ways. This is how Brenda does it. I mean, who wants to do it any other way? Because I'm going to put my flour in this bowl too. But not right now, but I'm going to. Then I'm going to clean this up, which won't take but a second. You want it all coated good, though, because that's what's going to make it good and tender. I'm fixing to run a sink full of water over there and clean as I go today, so I won't have so much to do. All right. We're going to let this sit here for about an hour and just marinate that good buttermilk and get tenderer and tenderer. Here's the asparagus I got because she said she wanted asparagus. When I got home, I put it in a glass of water because if you don't, they dry out. As a matter of fact, at our grocery store, they have them in water. And so I'm going to take these asparagus over there now and wash them good. And we'll get busy with it. Okay, I've got my asparagus all washed up real good. And I'm just going to lay it in our casserole dish. Like this. Now these end parts right here, they're tough. But what we do is we just eat it to the end, or as far as we can, and then we don't eat the rest of it. Because they are tough on the end sometimes. Well, heck, this may not fit. I need a bigger casserole dish. Wait a minute. Let me get something else out. That isn't going to work. That is not going to work. Let's try this one. Okay. Let's start over. Okay, now then, let's try this one, see if it'll work. Oh, yes, this is much better. That other one was too short. It was too short and not wide enough either. This is going to be 2 bunches of asparagus. And there's a lot in here, so they will be good for us. We're not going to cook them long. We want them kind of crispy done. That one's tough right there. Cut the end off of that one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is cut up some butter to put all over it and let it kind of go down in there as it heats. And I'm going to put some olive oil on it. And while it is, and I'm going to put a foil over it. And then while it's cooking, every now and then I'm going to take it out and flip it so that the ones that are on the top will wind up on the bottom. We want at least half of this stick in here, so they'll be good and buttery. Okay. Now let's take a little olive oil and sprinkle that on there so they're all greasy. You don't want them drying out. This will drip down in amongst it. And that will be very good. I'm not going to put any seasoning on it. I just want to taste the actual asparagus. But you could put some little onion powder or garlic powder on it, and that would be good. And I may decide to do it, but right now I'm not. Okay, that's it with asparagus. You cover it, cook it on a low temperature like 350, 375 until they're really limp and done. That's it. We're also going to have today some corn on the cob. They had this for 3 for $1, and I thought, I just got to have it. So it looks pretty. So what we're going to do, let me just tell you how you boil corn. And I'm sure you already know, but let me just tell you. You get your water boiling in your pot, okay? Real good, hard. And you don't put your corn in there until it is boiling. If you set your corn in your pot while the water is just warm and you're waiting on it to boil, your corn's going to be too done. And it won't be good. It'll be tough. It won't be good. So wait till your water gets good and hot. And then boiling hot. And then put your corn in there. Y'all see that this little black stuff right here? Some of my new followers, this silk. Some of them are blacker than others. Like this is really black. When I was a little girl, my brother and I would shuck us some corn that Daddy grew. And we'd take that black stuff and wrap it up in a paper sack, make us a cigarette out of it, wrap brown paper around it. We'd sit out there on the carport and try to smoke that thing, and my daddy would laugh, and my mama never said a word. She didn't care. And the good thing about it is that me or none of my brothers ever smoked. We never smoked when we grew up. I guess we'd had enough corn silks that it turned us against it. I don't know why. But anyway, that's how you do corn. And Daddy used to love field corn. This is not field corn. This is sweet corn. But my daddy liked it hard, and he liked it out of the field. And it's called field corn. It's the kind that you would grow for animals. It's harder for chickens, pigs, cows, horses, that kind of stuff. Okay, here's our last one. Not going to have 5 people. I've got 6 ears of corn. Oh, goodness. All right. What did you say? All the ears look really good. Every one of them. See there? There they are. I've got them sitting in my drain thing right here. I'm going to cover them with some plastic wrap and put them back in the refrigerator until time to cook them. Because you don't want them to dry out. When we shucked corn at home, what we did is we had a big old bucket sitting out there. And as you shucked it, cleaned all the silks off that you could get off, we threw it in that bucket of water. And that water kept it moist, because if you don't, it will dry out. So remember that. Now we're going to get to making either our cream potatoes or our meat. I don't know which one we're going to next. Let me show you something, a little trick about cream potatoes. Put your mixer bowl down in the sink, because you're going to be using it to cream your potatoes. Put your colander on top of it. Pour your scalding hot potatoes in the colander to drain. Let that hot water roll around in that bowl just a second so that it heats up this pan, because you don't want your cream potatoes cold. Now put your cream potatoes back in this pan, and let's go over here and beat them up. That sun's coming in the window. I can hardly see y'all. Let me get back over here. Ooh, goodness. Anyway, you want to then use this kind of your whisk thing when you're doing your cream potatoes. I've already salted my cream potatoes when I cooked. And again, I hadn't plugged that in. I do this every single time, don't I? Don't I, y'all? I can't even see back in here because the light's so bright it's coming through the window. There we go. All right. You do not put anything in your cream potatoes like milk or butter or anything else until you get them fairly creamed. You don't want, we don't like lumps in ours. But now, if you like a few little lumps in yours, then honey, go to it. Go to it. I took this 2 cups of milk and I put it in the microwave to get it hot because I don't want to put cold milk in my good potatoes. All right, they're creaming up. I don't know if I'll use all this, but it won't matter. If I don't, I'll just put the other back in the refrigerator and use it for something else. All right, let me go get my butter out of the microwave. This is 1 stick of salted butter. All right, that looks pretty creamy. Let me show you. See there? That looks good. So now we're going to put, the next thing you put in is your butter. And it's good and hot, so see there, your potatoes are going to be great. All right, now then, look at your creaminess you've got right now. They look like this now. See, they're creamy. All right, now we're going to put our milk, and we don't know how much. You just do it a little at a time, and then you can figure it out. Oh, yay, the sun's going behind the cloud, and I can see y'all. Can you see me? All right, let's put a little milk in. You're only going to put this in a little at the time now, because you're going to be judging how creamy you want it. My family likes it really creamy. They don't like them stiff. They like them kind of like ice cream. Now, I don't think I'm going to need much, but it's all good and hot. Okay, while that's doing, let me get my bowl to put them in. Let me tell you what I did with my bowl. I put my bowl in the oven. It's a pottery bowl and it holds heat. So I put it in the oven on 350 for just a minute or two so it could get hot. And it feels good. All right, we're just about through with our cream potatoes. I'm going to taste them real quickly and see if we need some salt. And we do, but not much. That ought to be plenty, okay? And do they look creamy enough for y'all? They're good and warm. Yes, these are perfect. They are perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Now you pour them in this good, nice, warm bowl we've got. Woo! It's hot. You're not going to be getting cold, I can tell you that. Boy, they look good, don't they? They are beautiful, beautiful. I used red potatoes, in case you're wondering. Those bigger kind, not the little bitty new potatoes, but the regular size. They looked about, I don't know, they were pretty big, about like that, something like that. Boy, that's good, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna cover this up. I need another hot pad. I'm gonna sit it over there on the top of my stove to keep it warm until lunch. Okay, y'all, we're fixing to fry our country fried steak, and then I'm going to church. Here's what I did. I put some self-rising all-purpose flour in here, and I'm gonna coat each piece. It's been soaking in this buttermilk, and I didn't drain it or anything. The buttermilk is still on it. And I've got some lard in my skillet. You can fry it with whatever kind of grease you want to fry it in. Just whatever you like. I'm going to flour both sides of it real good, and I'm going to put it in. Now, when you first put it in, let me test this. Not quite hot enough. You want it to be fairly hot, because if you don't, it's not going to crisp up. Your stuff's going to fall off of it, okay? Let me let it get just a little bit hotter. Let me see what this does. Yeah, it's fried. Okay, that's good. You want to fry it on high. This is not something you're going to do slow. It's going to be a high heat. I've got it on at a 7.5. This is why I cut it up. So it fits in your skillet better. You can get more pieces in there. You don't want to overcrowd it though. Alright, let me get me out a plate to put it on. Just a regular plate, that'll be fine. And then when you turn it, it's important that you turn your spatula that way, not this way. You want to push up on it so that your goodie stays on your meat. And I'm going to just gently go under it, take a fork, and tilt it over. Don't be sticking it. Don't stick it with your fork. All right, it's still on 8. You want to get it brown on one side, brown on the other side, and it's done. Let's see about this one. It's not quite ready. I shouldn't have taken it up. Don't take it up too soon. All right, this one right here, it's about ready. So is that one. So let me go ahead and flour something to go in its place. It just doesn't take long. All right, we take this one up. Put it on our plate. And this one up. Let's see. I'm going to cook it a little more on that side. I don't like to turn it over, but I already did. And that's all it is to it. And I'm just going to continue doing this till I get through. And I hope y'all have a good day. And I hope my dinner turns out good. And maybe when everybody gets here, I can do a little video and show you them helping their plate. So all this asparagus and everything else. Love y'all. Bye-bye.